and I'm a 9th grader in Rimmerdy International School in Bangkok, Thailand. When I was applying to do the speech, one of the questions I had to answer was what I wanted to talk about and how it was related to change. I had no answer. In fact, I couldn't think of anything I was passionate enough to talk about in front of the whole school. It wasn't until a few days later, when one of my friends convinced me to apply, that I could really think of what I wanted to say. Now, you see, I'm not the type of person to struggle with expressing my thoughts and opinions, so I never thought I'd have issue coming up with a topic I wanted to talk about in front of the whole school. Which, now thinking about it, was probably why I clicked off that Google form in the first place. During my long venture of coming up with what I wanted to say, I, of course, like any teenager raised in the 21st century, checked social media while thinking about what I wanted to address. This is where I got my inspiration for today's speech, which is how words are so much more negative on social media. And I know many of you have probably heard something similar to this before, so before you roll your eyes at me and stop listening, I urge you to keep an open mind. Because until we realize how big of a problem this truly is, we are unable to fix it. Data from Digital Cooperation Organization states that people become 1.9 times more likely to commit suicide if they have ever faced cyberbullying. And I'm not only talking about cyberbullying, I'm talking about the general aggression and toxicity on social media. According to the Pew Research Center, 64% of Americans alone believe that social media has negative effects on human interaction. And it's true. Many studies have shown that people are typically more happy when they aren't on social media. For the students in the audience, be honest. You've witnessed an argument in the comment section of an Instagram post before. Maybe you were even a part of it. You have probably seen people collectively hating on a post or a creator on TikTok, and you have definitely seen internet beef between two content creators, which led to fans having arguments of their own. Now, adults, before you criticize us, you aren't above this behavior either. In fact, you guys are even more vicious than us. Maybe you aren't personally a part of this, but your age group sadly is. You can go to the comment section of any post on CNN's Instagram, and you see a list of adults acting exactly like children, fighting over one another's point of view until it escalates into a verbal attack on one's character. And it isn't only these public comments that cause a problem. Maybe you've made a backhanded comment underneath a person you don't like's Facebook post before, or posted something to one-up someone, or even just criticize someone on your social media, regardless if it's a celebrity or someone you know. It is clear that most of us, if not all of us, have been part of the negativity on social media. It is clear that the words alone are bad enough. But this is social media, which means there's another layer that is often overlooked. Whatever we say will never leave. It will never be deleted, it will never disappear, and it will stay with us forever. For me, and for most adolescents, it means we're walking on thin ice. Our digital footprint can be the difference between getting into our dream college or not, getting the job we applied for or not. This is what I mean by social media kills people. It kills our opportunity for a successful future. And it isn't only the words that we say that affect us negatively, because those are just the consequences of our actions. But the claims people make about us, regardless if true or not, affect us too. False accusations have been another big part of the toxicity on social media. Now, this wouldn't be as big of a problem if fact checkers were available to the average citizen, like it is to public figures. But this isn't the case, which means rumors of defamation can spread like wildfire. And even if fact checkers were available to the private citizen, it doesn't necessarily mean that the narrative would change. We are so jaded and desensitized, visceral, even when it shouldn't be this way. If this were to happen in person, people would be more skeptical and more likely to judge the source. The saddest part is, these things have become the norm of social media. And it's sad to see that everything we do has a negative impact. All these insults, all these words, they hurt us. And it's sad to see that we are growing up in a world where this is the new form of normal, where positivity is rare and negativity is normal. what this essentially means is that everyone with social media is conditioned to act negatively, which means everyone with social media is the problem. This leads me to my next point, which is the next generation is growing up and soon they will be faced with social media. And if we don't want them to adopt the negative and toxic habits we have made common on these platforms, we have to change, starting by shifting our attitude. It is not the software's job to make social media a positive place. It isn't the software's fault for our gullibleness and toxicity. If we want change, we gotta shift our attitude. And that starts by leading with example. If you feel the urge to say anything negative, write it in your notes app instead of commenting it. Or really write it anywhere that is only private to you. This way, you are still able to express your emotions without doing it so publicly and hurting others' feelings in return. Next of all, if you see someone being overwhelmed by cyberbullying, send them a private message telling them that they aren't alone. This way, you are using social media for its purpose, making someone feel humanized as well. Of course, the report and block button exists. If you see someone being argumentative, block them, so you're less likely to engage with them. If you see someone being mean, report them, even if it isn't aimed towards you. That way, you're making social media a safer place. And finally, create your own and form your own opinions. Not everything you see on social media is true. And be aware of every perspective. Fact check, make your own research. This way, you aren't falling into the trap of false information. If we're all able to do this, we would have an online world where everyone feels safe, secure, and happy, where no one feels dehumanized, distressed, and alone. The cyberbullying rates should lower, and soon the suicide rates should lower as well. With that, people would have a better attitude and mindset towards social media, leading to a better attitude and mindset in real life. People would also create a world where we're able to flourish in social media since everyone is being positive and the arguments and the insults stop. That way, we are able to raise a new generation where social media is a good thing. Thank you for listening, and I hope all of you who use social media will use it to say something good.